away. And a look at the others in this field. You saw a quick shot of Katie Wasserman there earlier. Savannah Shaw, Carissa Schweitzer is in this first semi as well.
Schweitzer's coming back from injury. You know, she made the Olympic team in the 5,000 and the 10,000 in 2021. She made the World Championship team in Eugene, but had to step off the track in the 5,000 at those World Championships with a calf injury. She's had 2 surgeries since the last Olympics, but she has really come around at the right time, and she will be very dangerous come the final.
Elle St. Pierre just tucks in behind Parker Valby. By the way, there was a late scratching to this. Alison Churchill did not make it to the line. So Abby Nichols is in third there, just ahead of Whitney Morgan, hip number 5 in this opening lap of the women's 5,000 meters semi-finals. You know, you mentioned something interesting earlier there, Cara, about those 5 national titles, NCAA titles for Parker Valby. In the 43-year history, the NCAA has sponsored women's championships in track and cross country. No woman has ever won 5 titles in an academic year.
It truly was incredible. And all these distance events, she started by winning the cross country. Look at her lead there, right? Cross country isn't about time. It's about kicking at the right moment. And she won that in such great fashion. Then she went and did the 3,000, 5,000 meter indoor double, setting collegiate records in the process. And then she came back for the outdoor season, won the 5,000 and the 10,000. And it's just truly remarkable because Parker Valby, we thought of her as injury prone. She only runs 3 or 4 days a week. The rest of the week she trains and cross trains. And it's truly incredible what she's been able to do. She has run 112.5 laps on an outdoor track this year racing. That's over 28 miles. And look at that compared to the other big competitors who have the Olympic standard. Schweitzer's run 41.25. Cranny 22. Josette Andrews hasn't raced an outdoor
career, and she's looking to make her second Olympic team. And yet another example of an elite athlete becoming a mum and coming back to competition and being stronger and faster and more competitive. And I think it just takes to another gear.
Absolutely. You know, she had her son in March of 2023. She took her time getting back. Her coach said, when you're ready, come back. And she has just been on fire. She broke her own American indoor mile record, won the World Indoor 3,000 meter championship. I mean, she's the world champion. And then she went out outdoors to run a personal best in the 1,500, 356 flat. She ran 14:34 on the 5,000, another huge personal best in the leading time in the United States this year. She just has been so strong, and I think what's so fun to watch is that it's all balanced. Her son is with her everywhere. He goes to all the training camps. He comes to practice, and I think that's just made her so happy and made her feel so fulfilled.
Keep an eye out for Bailey Hertenstein as well, the Floridian, who's the Pac-12 champion in both the 5 and the semi-final of the women's 5,000 meters. We will come back in a moment, but now let's head to men's shot put with Trey Hardy, Paul Swangard. Fellas.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. It is the qualifying night. The finals will be tomorrow, and the 31-year-old from, yes, Boring, Oregon, Ryan Krauser. He is the 2-time Olympic champion, trying to become the first ever to win 3 gold medals. And this is really special ground for not only him, but for the rest of his family. He grew up in a family of throwers. But dating back to his days at Sam Barlow High School in 2011, he's made Hayward magic again and again.
I can remember recruiting that tall, skinny kid over to the University of Texas and being there for that world record at the Olympic trials. Just a lot of special moments for the Krauser family, and that big guy right there in the middle, Ryan Krauser.
A sweep in the World Championships in 2022. Now, Krauser's been nursing a little bit of an injury, and so his luxury here is if he can get a good throw, he can basically take the rest of the night off.
Yeah, the goal here is to step in, take care of that elbow, and be one and done, and it looks like that first attempt for him will be enough. to get into the final. And the same situation for Joe Kovacs. He's a world leader. He's thrown over 23 meters this year. He looks like he's ready to try to steal that gold medal away from Ryan Krauser, and that would be a one and done for Joe as well.
He's been second to Krauser the last 2 Olympics. You know, the remarkable stat here, Lee, is that Kovacs has made 7 straight global championship teams, and he has won a medal at all of them. And those guys are both taking the rest of the night off. We'll see him in the final tomorrow.
They are. They are U.S. shot put, aren't they? Ryan Krauser, Joe Kovacs. Thanks, guys, as we get back to the women's 5,000 meter first semi. They're inside 7 laps from home. By the way, on the backstretch here, bathed in sunlight, you'll see 2 tables here in a moment. There they are. There's some water relief stations.
Yeah, and honestly, in a 5K, you don't need to hydrate in it. It's really there as a safety precaution. If someone's starting to feel hot, they're not going to probably drink the water. They're going to dump it on their head or on their wrist, something that has a cooling effect to their body.
6:30 local time here, and it's still 84 degrees.
It's very, very warm. And you know, Lee, sometimes when we see a race strung out like this, it's because it's so fast, but this is not particularly fast. I think that's why we're seeing everyone strung out, because they know they'll be able to respond to anything that's thrown at this point. But Parker Valby has done all of the leading here. These professional women were happy to let her go to the front and take the lead and sit on her until they need to get rolling. We see Carissa Schweizer now moving up on that outside, making sure she's in good positioning, because at some point they're going to roll from the front.
And Ali Biholski is in the mix as well. You see her there third, right behind Elle St. Pierre. So Parker Valby leads the way, and of course, like any athlete, biggest fans are the parents. So Tiffany and Kyle are here, and there's quite the story with the Valbys as well. They're here in their RV. They sold their home. They went on the road in their RV. This was a photo from back in Florida, but the RV is parked up the road here in Springfield. They've been following their daughter's career around the country wherever she runs, and she stayed in that earlier this week until moving in to a hotel to prep for these Olympic trials. So mum and dad, road warriors, supporting their daughter. Good on you.
You know, they must have a great relationship if she's willing to stay with them leading up to the Olympic trials. So obviously they are a very close family and have a great relationship.
How do you make out the strategy of this race with Valby at the front pretty much from the beginning, with the way more experienced Elle St. Pierre just tucking in and riding?
Well, St. Pierre can win from anywhere. We know she has a monster kick, so I think she is looking ahead and saying, hey, I have to run 2 rounds of the 5,000, 3 rounds of the 1,500. I don't want to have to go to work until I absolutely have to. I'm happy to watch Valby and sit behind her. Most people, if Valby wasn't in this race, everyone would be keen off of St. Pierre. So this actually is good for her to like relieve herself of having to control an effort and just sit back. You know, she knows she can kick. Same with Carissa Schweizer. There's no reason for them to go and fight for the lead right now. They know they can kick with anyone over the final 400 meters.
In the orange shorts, third athlete in shot, that's Taylor Rowe, who's just completed her career at Oklahoma State. So she's tucked in and staying there. Hertenstein is in the mix as well. And when the women come down across the line this time, we're getting towards the end of this first semi of the women's 5,000 meters. And Parker Valby has led the entire way. The NCAA champion, the standout, has been setting this pace. Carissa Schweizer. We haven't spoken a lot about Carissa. Kara mentioned earlier, she's coming back from injury. She's had both feet operated on. She said you can't control your injuries, you can just control your comeback. And so far, so good.
She looks great, and she's a gamer. Remember, she's the 3rd fastest American ever at this distance, having run in the 14:20. So she's an excellent at this event, excellent throughout college, very celebrated. She was the Parker Valby of her time. And so it's just, she's been slow and steady in her progress coming back. But I just have to imagine we're going to see a little bit of a pickup in pace here, since they haven't separated down to 6. This isn't a particularly fast heat, so I think we're going to see a little movement because they want to make sure they're in that top 6.
Utah's Whitney Morgan is also on the comeback from some time away and from some rehab, and she got back to the track in April, and she's sitting there in the top 5, right behind Carissa Schweizer.
You see on that backstretch there, you see Valby looking up at that screen. There's a screen on the backstretch. On the second turn on the track, there's a big screen, and she can look up and see how many people are still with her. She has slightly made this pace a little faster, going from 74s to 73s, but still she hasn't thrown anything down. We saw her in the NCAA just switch and run away from the pack. We haven't seen that yet.
Top 6 in each semi-final will go through to the final on Monday, and then there are 4 time qualifiers, 3 laps to go from here. So, Parker Valby, Elle St. Pierre, and Carissa Schweitzer. Remember, St. Pierre doing the double, doing the 5,000, 1,500 double at these Olympic trials.
She said running that 3,000 at World Indoors and winning gave her so much confidence that she had the strength to run these longer distances. She's been sharing some of her workouts this year. She's been doing a lot of strength-based training. Obviously, she's very, very speedy. She scared the American record at the Prefontaine Classic, but she is confident that she can come away from the Olympic trials a double champion.
Well, look, winning that World Indoor title in the 3,000, being in Tokyo, being around the best in the world. You know, she said recently, look, I can look over and I see somebody who maybe once I was, you know, mesmerized by. Wow, I'm right beside that person. Now I feel I belong. Not only do I feel I belong, I know I belong.
She's absolutely shown that. She says she likes to race bold. She is not afraid of anyone. She believes in herself. It makes all of the difference at this level. You have to believe. Now, Valby has been picking it up a little bit here as we start to see some separation. She dropped a 72 second, 71 high there on this last lap. So she is starting to speed this up, which is good for everyone behind her who can stay with her. We've seen a pack of 5 women separating themselves.
Encouraging run for Carissa Schweitzer as well. Sitting there in third in the red and the white.
And look how relaxed she looks. She just looks like she's getting through a tempo run, just getting the job done today. Nothing needs to be flashy today. These women have to come back in just a few days and run this again.
Whitney Morgan staying in touch and doing well. Number 5 just there. And then Ali Buhalski is also in the mix. Remember, top 6 is where you want to be if you don't want to rely on time, and there is a clear breakaway here. They started to spread out now. Ali is in touch, and there's a little bit of extra motivation here. These women are going to hear the bell. 1 more lap left in semi-final number 1 of the women's 5,000.
And look at St. Pierre and Schweitzer start to move out. This is where, in a final, they're ready to start their kick and their drive to home. So they're not pressing all the way yet, but they've moved aside. And this is something that Parker Valby is not used to. Will she go with them, or will she just protect her positioning? But look at the distance St. Pierre puts on immediately.
I've sat where I needed to sat for as long as I did. And now the more experienced ladies in this 5,000 semi start to exert their authority. Elle St. Pierre and Carissa Schweitzer stretching it out on this final lap.
They really are, and they're showing why they're already Olympians. But Parker Valby is hanging tough right now. She's not giving in to the rest of the field. She's holding strong in her position.
Elle St. Pierre, who hails from Vermont, the dairy farmers from Vermont, like she says, drink your milk. They make them strong. And she's displaying that now. Elle St. Pierre, a huge look to see who's behind. She wins that first semi over Carissa Schweitzer and Parker Valby. Really well played strategically from Elle St. Pierre. Just sat in second the entire race until it was time to go.
It's so true. She was so relaxed. This was basically a tempo effort for her, just a way to shake out any nerves she might have. And when she went, it was immediate. We saw her move out here, and she doesn't even look like she's sprinting. But see how immediately she moves to the front and just powers away. I mean, immediately there's a visual gap in just 10 strides. It's truly incredible. This is what makes her so special. She has all of the tools. She can run fast, she can kick, she can do everything. And this is not her all out here coming home. We've seen her kick a lot harder than that. And look at the distance she made in only 300 meters. That's why she is the one to beat here.
And where is everybody?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big look around. Hey, where are you guys? Well, it's fellow Olympian Carissa Schweitzer, who followed her home. Remember, the top 6 get the auto qualifier straight through to the final on Monday, and behind Ellie and Carissa, Parker Valby